And welcome to 520 Sports Talk. I'm Sean Scott. You may notice this is not Bill McCulloch. No.
Nothing like him.
No. Bill is taking a small sabbatical for a week while he's out training for some other stuff. He's getting prepped for more exciting 520 Sports Talk. So I'm joined by Lori Burkhart.
Hey.
You may remember Lori from our fan forums, and she's filled in for me a couple times when I was broadcasting Pima games. So it's nice to have Lori here. We didn't get to mention this last time on the show, but Lori is our new director of social media. So any social media requests or anything like that, go ahead and contact us at 520sportssm@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Also, the show, if you're watching live right now, we're going to try and refresh this so we have a monitor. But make sure that you share this if you're watching. We have a great show. We have another round of state champions with us. So we have the 5A volleyball state champion, Cienega High School. So we want to, yes. And we thank you so much for joining us. Coach Heather Mott's joining us here along with some of the seniors on the team right now. It's a real treat because you have state champions, but this is our first undefeated team. So this is a big deal. So 21-0. 21-0, that's a really big deal. So we want to thank you guys so much for joining us. If you want to indulge me for about 3 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge the people that make this possible, our sponsors here at 520 Sports Talk, and then we're going to have Laura. You can just dive in with the first question if you want to. So obviously we're here at Stray Dogs. It's at River and Stone. I had broken my diet, don't tell anyone, but I had an amazing bowl of mac and cheese, and it's like $5.50, but it's huge. So come on down. They were just featured on Ginormous Foods last Friday where they made a 17-inch donut. So if you look over there, you can see there's a donut hanging from the wall or something like that. But that's like a life. That's it. That's the donut. That's actual size. And they serve it for birthdays. So make sure to come on down to Stray Dogs. Also, I want to give top billing right now. I mean, aside from our location here to Andy Taylor Media. Andy's been with us since show number 1. This is now show number 39. He'd say something, but he's enjoying some really good Stray Dogs pizza right now. So thank you to Andy Taylor Media. We also definitely want to thank Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating. On Monday this coming week, it's going to be 115 degrees in Tucson. So make sure your AC is working because that's going to be a miserable day if you don't have your AC working. So Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating. We have Chris Lawler, loansbylawler.com. He has a new thing coming up. Go to loansbylawler.com. He has a Harry Potter thing, and I'm going to look it up
I saw that picture
right now. Yeah. So let's take a look. All right. I'm looking it up here, and all right. Well, anyways, it's the Harry Potter charity ball.
Yeah.
So and put on by Chris Lawler, loansbylawler.com. If you're looking to refi or purchase, talk to Chris Lawler, and he will take good care of you. He even was working. He just had a baby. Actually, he didn't have the baby. I think his wife did.
That would be a miracle.
But he was working through that. He's a champ. So when you're not eating here, Z Pizza and Tap Room at Oro Valley, La Cañada and Naranja, beers on tap, wine on tap, great pizza, salads, all that good stuff. So make sure to check out Z Pizza and Tap Room. And if you're down on the south side of town and you want some great Mexican food, Micha's on 4th Avenue since 1976. They do great catering for places like Raytheon. TucsonAlist.com. If you're looking for a quality service provider, TucsonAlist.com. And I'm just trying to think of anyone. And The Rock. Concerts basically every weekend featuring great local music. We're all about local sports. So we want to feature everything local. And The Rock is definitely the place to get that done. They do under 21 shows, so if you guys like music, you can get into The Rock. And they have a really cool beach area outside, so it's very fun. So, now to the business at hand right now. The 5A state champion Cienega boys volleyball team. So we're joined here, and we're going to start to my left. So, Coach, if you want to introduce yourself and maybe how long you've been with the program.
Okay. I'm Coach Mott, Heather Mott. I have been on the Cienega volleyball path now for, I think I'm in my 10th season with the girls. The boys season, I took over the program 4 years ago.
Okay.
When these boys actually right here were freshmen.
Oh, wow.
And so we've been on this quest together for 4 years, and that's my history. I've had some good success with the girls program, but the boys program has far exceeded our expectations.
Wow, that's great. So we'll have the two of you share that microphone, and then the two of you can share this microphone right here. Just make sure that when you hold the microphone, you're not touching the cord with the bottom of your hand, because it will kind of click in and out of the audio. So I just want to let you know that if for some reason someone's typing to us and they're like, hey, we can't hear so-and-so. So next, if you want to introduce yourself, I guess you're all seniors, so we don't need to, or you just graduated?
These are graduating seniors, yeah.
Very cool. So maybe your name and your position.
All right, so I'm Skylar Kavanaugh, and I play middle blocker.
Middle blocker, all right.
I'm Alex Mazinski, and I played opposite.
I'm Colton Todd, and I'm an outside hitter.
An outside hitter, so we have 3 different positions here, so we don't have anyone doubling up right now.
Nope, 3 different positions, 3 starters, and uniquely 3 completely different positions on the floor.
Interesting, okay. So, Coach, talk to us about your expectations going into the season. Was this something that you knew you were going to have, just an amazing team where you kind of had the idea that you maybe could make an undefeated run? Or was this take it a game at a time, but you knew you had a good team? And kind of let us know how the beginning of the season sort of came about.
So I guess that kind of starts a little bit before the beginning of the season. It kind of started last year with our deep state run. We went to the semifinals last year. We knew we had a good group. We've had a good core group here for the last few years, and we've been building each year. This year when we started, we full well knew that we were a team that could contend for state.
Sure.
Undefeated, we didn't think about that. That kind of started to happen just as we rolled through.
Right.
And we had some really, really good success in our early preseason tournaments, and we started to get a feel for what we were going to be capable of. And that got really, really, really exciting as we moved through. So, our thoughts in the beginning, we sat down in a circle when we first started, and I think I asked these guys who could be our guy. When we needed a guy at the end of the season,
right,
who could be our guy, and what were you going to do now to be prepared to be that guy?
Okay.
And so that's kind of how we started. And then our motto kind of all year was to just put one foot in front of the other, really, to play one ball at a time,
right,
and to let the successes of just staying focused and diligent about one ball at a time kind of grow.
Right.
And let that turn into sets 1, to matches 1, to a section 1, and then to a state 1.
Wow.
So I think that's kind of where we started. I think these guys would agree with me. The back of our regular season T-shirts said that pressure was a privilege. We knew from last year coming in that we were going to have some pressure. We knew we had a target on our back. And so we kind of went with that. The back of that T-shirt also has a score on it. And it's a score that really holds some disappointment for us. And so we came in wanting to avenge something that went on last year at the end. So I think that was our motivation. I think that's how we started. And I think we just, we rolled forward, not more successfully than we thought we would, but certainly as successfully as we wanted to.
That's great. A reminder to everyone watching right now on your smartphones, if you're watching right now, hit the share button right now, because we have a fair amount of live viewers. We could get a lot more. If you have family out of town, they're not going to know about this unless you send it, share it with them or something like that. So make sure you do that right now so everyone can see this. And as a quick reminder, let everyone know this is going to be uploaded to YouTube either today or tomorrow, so they can watch. It also stays on the Facebook page, so anyone that couldn't be here or couldn't be watching it live will be able to watch it. So we do have Bill McCulloch is actually one of our hosts, and you talked to Bill. He's sending in questions on the fly. So Bill, we're going to try and get to as many of them as we can, but you type fast.
Yeah, he does.
So
and
Lori,
I have a couple too.
Lori, if you want to,
So during the season, I know you start out, you kind of know what's going to happen, but that feeling of we're doing it. When during the season did you kind of get that feeling that this could be very special? So I think we had that feeling right from the beginning. We all knew it could be really special. I mean, it gets us goosebumps. But like when anytime we start talking about it, we knew from the beginning it could be. We kind of hit a patch in the middle of our season though, where we were satisfied to just beat teams. We were just satisfied with the win. And the coaching staff, Charlie De Oliveira, who's not here today, who's one of our assistant coaches, and PJ and myself, we all kept saying, that won't win us a state championship. Beating a mediocre team with a mediocre score is not going to be where we were. So
where we wanted to be. So we kind of talked about that. We felt like that hit about the midpoint of our season. And then about the South Point tournament, we won the South Point tournament. And about that time, I think, and these guys can let me know what they think, but I think that that's about the time we kind of started to feel a shift. And we felt the shift in that we started realizing that this was really special.
Do you think that it was like you almost expected to win after a while?
I think that it's hard. I think it's hard to win. And one of my best friends is Laura Siemens. She was a Foothills coach for a lot of years. We coached together, and we were at a game at Foothills High School where she came. And one of the things that she said to me, which was kind of a turning point for me, because I have a lot of respect for her as a coach too. She said, "You do have a target." But she said, your target has all of a sudden moved to in front of your face. And I kept saying, we've got to get this target off of our back. It's creating a lot of pressure, and the kids aren't responding well to the pressure. And that's what I think was happening at that time. And she said to me, don't worry about getting it off your back. Put it back on your back and get it out from in front of your face.
Yeah.
And
great
it was
advice.
such a it was an aha moment for me. And I said that to the boys. And from there forward really is where we did put it back on our back where it belonged. And even though it was still there, we just said, you know what, it's a privilege that it's there, and let's rise up to it.
Yeah.
So Skylar, for you as a player, when did you kind of feel that momentum changing for you and as a player thinking, hey, I think we can really do this. This is something that's very much achievable for us.
So like Coach Mott said, it was kind of since like the beginning of the season, we were like, oh wow, like let's go win a state championship. And that's like every team's dream. And then how she said like the South Point tournament, how we were playing these big teams, and there was a big D1 commit from California we played, and we like shut him down. And we were just like, wow, like we can do a lot with this team. And like this team isn't just one player. Now we can like play with the best of anybody.
That's great.
And it was kind of just like something weird about this team is that like when we play better teams, we tend to play a lot better. And so early in the year we beat Chandler, who was in the 6A finals, and it was just like once we got into playoffs, we were like, yeah, there aren't going to be any teams that are like scrubby or like suck or anything. So like we got to like ball out every day, and so that's what we did, and it ended up.
So did you guys kind of feel like you played either up or down to your competition, depending on who you're playing, or did you always play up to your competition, do you think?
I mean, we kind of played down to our competition a couple times, but then we were just like, what the heck are we doing? Yeah. We need to play like us, and we'd go out when we'd play like us, and when we'd play those worst teams, we'd be beating them 25-7, 25-6, and like we'd give ourselves challenges throughout the game. That's like, oh yeah, like we can't let them get above this amount of points, or we have to run at practice tomorrow.
That's great. Do you guys kind of feel the same way? Do you feel like that's kind of the same attitude that everybody kind of had? So who was your true leader on that group? Who was so when you guys were down and maybe really close, who's the guy that just stepped up and got you guys riled up again?
To be honest, there wasn't really one guy that stepped up.
Good.
It was everybody.
Good.
I think we have like a really rare breed of teammates that no matter who you are, no matter if you haven't came on the court the entire game, no matter who it is, our bench was completely electrified every single game the entire season, and it wasn't even the people on the court that made it like such a huge reason that we won the state. It was the people that were supporting us. It was the people on the bench. It was our coaches. It was our fans in the student section. We were able to bring volleyball to life like if it were a football team or something. We definitely changed the way
the energy was there like that. That's great.
So, do any of you play basketball as well? I mean, I know a lot of the volleyball teams, they'll double up with playing basketball. So the two of you play basketball? Okay.
Most of our team.
Oh, they just kind of move over from one to the next, except for
I'm a wrestler.
Wrestler, okay.
Yeah, I won state in wrestling this past year as well.
Jeez, we have double state champion right there?
We have a double state champion.
So
Nice.
2 rings?
2 rings.
So I'm guessing
Start with, like,
heavyweight,
Tom
but
Brady?
I could be wrong.
Right below heavyweight, 220s.
220s, okay. I wrestled in high school too, but I was slightly less than half of what you wrestled at. So I may have been wrestling 103s in high school. I've put on a little bit of weight since then.
So what position do you guys play in basketball?
I was a power forward.
Left bench /
Left
small
bench.
forward.
I love that.
Left bench.
that helped a lot in volleyball. It inspired me to be good at volleyball. So
There you go.
It was great.
Because you didn't want to sit the bench.
Yeah.
I played that, but back when it was called left out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't. We didn't have a bench for me. I was just left out. It was like sort of like the water boy type position.
That's
but
great.
I played hockey. I wrestled a little bit, but I played hockey. So, but let's see. A lot of people have sent in comments and questions, so there's a lot. So,
Sorry.
keep sending in the questions. And right now, I know Bill. That was Bill's question about the basketball team. So, how do you think, for the two of you, how do you think basketball helps with volleyball and vice versa?
Well, my whole life I've played basketball. I've worked hard at it for a long time, and I think throughout all the coaching I've had in basketball and all that stuff, I've learned a lot of my work ethic through that, and I've moved that to the volleyball court, and that has helped me out a lot throughout the years, for sure.
So we do have about 3 minutes left for this group here. I just want to let everyone know 3 minutes, and then I do have the 2 more players and a coach coming next, right? Okay, so 3 more minutes. If you're watching right now, and there's quite a few of you watching online, send your questions across for the seniors and for Coach Mott. Other than that, you're going to have to actually call or text them, and that's just inconvenient when you can do it right here. So
How do you think that basketball helps, or vice versa?
Basketball definitely taught me a lot of, it applied life lessons, and I was able to take those lessons from basketball and apply them into volleyball. And one of the biggest lessons it taught me is that you can never do it by yourself.
Right.
Especially in volleyball, you only get to touch the ball once at a time for each person, on 3 times on each side of the court. So you definitely gotta look to your left and right and trust those people more, or the same that you trust yourself.
I'm really eager to hear how wrestling helped, because wrestling is kind of an individual sport, where volleyball is a team sport. So how did that all work together?
Well, I mean, after wrestling season, so I didn't really like wrestling that much.
And you won state.
Yeah.
I kind of did it. I did it this year. I did it this year because I wrestled since I was 5, and so I was like, I'm not really into wrestling that much, but it's my senior year. I've done this my entire life. I better finish, and I better try going out on top. And so even though I didn't like it, since volleyball was right afterwards, I was so much more inspired to play. And what wrestling helped me with was it really got me in condition. Even though I'm the fat boy on the team, got me in condition, and it's taught me to work hard, because wrestling's without a doubt one of the hardest sports out there.
Absolutely.
And so it's definitely giving me that work ethic to know that there's something worse out there. And so when we're in a hard drill and everybody's sweating, I'm just wow, I could be doing something worse right now. I'm glad I'm doing this.
Exactly.
So we do have a couple questions that came across. The first one, Skylar, for you. Are you pursuing a wrestling or a volleyball scholarship?
So I'm a 3-sport athlete, and I play football as well. And so
Shocker, right? Shocker. Okay.
And I got a D1 scholarship to go play tight end at South Dakota State next year.
Very nice.
And right now, I love volleyball, and volleyball is my passion. So if a bigger scholarship for volleyball came across,
you think about it?
Yeah, I'd definitely think about it. But right now,
you're a small tight end, right?
Yeah, well, I'm a decent sized tight end. But yeah, right now it's football. Go Jacks.
Go Jacks. And then another one, who is your main, even proximity may not make any sense because certain skill levels in volleyball, but who is your main rival? In town.
Probably Rincon.
Rincon, you think?
Yeah.
Rincon.
We're pretty good friends with everybody at Rincon, or decently, because we play club with them.
Oh, okay.
And so it's kind of just that brother rivalry that we have.
Sure.
And brothers fight all the time, and it gets ugly sometimes.
I think South Point was a really good rivalry too. They were number 3 in the state, and we battled with them really well. The first game we played them, we beat them in 3, and then we played them in the South Point tournament and beat them 2-1, which was tournament style play, so it was a shorter game. But they definitely were good contenders in Tucson to play, and we also enjoyed playing Phoenix teams as well, because
I love when you guys beat Phoenix teams.
Phoenix teams, there's a lot of people in Phoenix, and there's a lot of volleyball players in Phoenix, so we enjoyed smacking down on some kids that
Right?
That's great.
had the confidence to beat us.
So I know what Skylar's going to do after
And
here.
what are your
What
plans?
about you guys? What are your plans? Yeah?
Yeah, we both received a couple offers for volleyball. We're still on the lookout a little bit for some more scholarships because there's not a lot of schools with volleyball that are very cheap. A lot of private schools. There's only one school that's not private in Arizona right now, so we're still on the lookout for that. But as of right now, me and Alex are attending University of Arizona.
Are you?
There you go.
Wildcats for life, man.
Wildcats for life. I'll just go ahead and throw that one up right now.
Yeah.
I'll just get it on the
Throw
record.
the old Wildcat up.
All right, so you guys each have 30 seconds to look right here and say hello to whoever you want to, so that way when they watch it later, if they're watching now, you can say hi. Because that's how we kind of end everything. So grab the microphone and, if you want to throw a hi mom out there, you can,
My mom's here, so I'd like to say hi to everybody who knows me that's watching.
I got to give a special shout out to Coach Schween, who's our strength and conditioning coach. He came in this year and did a great job and got Cienega 2 state championships in 1 year.
I'd like to shout out to Coach Charlie, who's not here right now, but he has one of the biggest roles in this team. He's on his way right now, but he has totally transformed me into a better volleyball player, and he's put so much time into me, and I couldn't be more appreciative of that. So.
Very nice.
I also want to say hi to my girlfriend, Skylar.
I have a girlfriend. Her name's Allie.
Yep, it's
Oh.
Skylar.
You couldn't have planned that one better.
Yeah,
So if you guys get married and have kids, Skylar.
By the way,
it's weird.
Lori, I can't believe I forgot Aqua Solutions.
You did forget Aqua Solutions.
And Chris is like one of my good friends, so I really feel terrible right now. But
Go ahead and-
brand new sponsor.
Thanks, guys, so much.
I want to thank you guys. Thank you, senior. Thank you, Coach Mott. The next group coming in, while I mentioned Aqua Solutions by Christina. They service all of Tucson. I think they're looking to move into Sierra Vista. So if you have a pool, I believe her slogan was, they do everything but dig the hole.
Right.
So they're a great company. They do a fantastic job, and we appreciate their sponsorship. And you can find their logo and their phone number on the 520 Facebook page. We are revamping the website, so it'll have a whole new look, and hopefully it'll be up and running quickly. But really, I think it'll be really in full swing by the time we hit the 1 year mark with 520 Sports, right around September. We'll have all the kinks worked out. We'll have all the advertisers on there. It's going to look really smooth.
Really excited for the change.
So, yeah, it should be really good. And as Lori, with our new director of social media and/or web stuff, I know there's some touching going on over here. I'm not quite sure what's going on.
They all got haircuts.
They're close.
Oh. All right, so we're going to start. Whoever wants to grab the microphone, but Coach, we'll start
can
with
use
you.
that one, and then that would be yours. So let's
So
go ahead,
just-
Coach. Go ahead and let's.
Yeah, so just introduce yourself and how long you've been with the program.
My name's PJ. I've been with the program for 1 year. This is my first year. I'm just the assistant coach, so
Okay.
that's my job.
My name is McLean Mott. I've been with the program for 4 years. I was a starter as a freshman and just been with it, been doing this for a long time. So
What position do you play?
I'm a setter.
Setter, all right.
My name is Jacob Derone, and I've been with the program for 4 years also, and I'm the libero.
Explain that for the people that don't know what that
The
is.
libero is the different colored jersey,
Ah.
the passer of the team.
The
per
passer
se.
of the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Defensive
Do I
specialist.
see the libero usually digging most, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I always notice whenever I'm watching volleyball, men's, women's volleyball, I'm always watching the person in the different colored jersey. They're always on the ground, basically. So, now let me ask you a question. With Skylar being the big kid on the team, do people try and avoid him? You know, when they're trying to set away from him to basically avoid the block.
Yeah, that happens. A lot of teams aren't as strong in the middle as we are, so a lot
Right.
of teams usually set their outsides more anyways.
Okay.
But Skylar's definitely a big threat, and teams really key in on him, both offensively and defensively.
Okay, so I'm guessing there's a relation between you and the head coach.
Yeah, she's my mom.
Oh,
So
that's mom. Okay. So what's it like playing for mom?
I don't know. It's kind of like all I've known as far as like volleyball goes, except for a couple of club teams. But it's been awesome. Strategy over the dinner table type things. It's
Right.
just, it kind of never ends. So that's cool because we all love it. So it's a family affair.
Does it get a little contentious? Is there a little bit of fighting
Oh, yeah.
because you're related?
Yep. I've been yelled at a few practices for things I probably shouldn't have said. And, but yeah,
that stuff comes home. You
exactly.
Yeah,
you do
that's
something
hard.
in practice and you get grounded at home. So
it's been hard, but it's been way more rewarding. So
Good.
it's been cool.
So aside from, I always like to ask this question because obviously winning a state title is amazing. So that's obviously going to be a main highlight of the season. But removing the state championship game, and just all three of you can answer, what was the highlight of the season?
I say the highlight of the season is when we went to Vegas and we balled out. We went 6-1 that whole weekend, and I thought we did really good. And all the teams there were super good too.
So I need an explanation here. I don't know if you're on the same wavelength as me, but the 17-0/21-0 record, is that like a conference thing or like a division thing? Because you said you went 6-1 in the tournament, but does that not count against your season stats? How does that work?
Tournament play doesn't count towards your overall. It counts towards your overall record, but not your regular season record. Because it's extra stuff. You go and get reps, and it totally depends on how good of a tournament you go to. So it's all that stays out of the record.
Now, was that a bus ride up to Vegas?
Yes, it was. It was awesome.
Who's the DJ on the bus?
Sometimes it was PJ. Most of the time it was PJ actually.
DJ the DJ.
I think we played like 2,000 summer hits for like 4 hours straight.
2,000 summer hits.
That was awesome.
Now, are we talking like from 2000 to 2009, like that time frame? All right.
Yes.
So was there some early Bieber thrown in there? Okay.
Yeah, had to be for sure. Maybe some R. Kelly.
Maybe some boy band action in there.
Yeah.
I mean, the 2000s. That's the
little
primary
NSYNC.
of the boy band.
Early Usher.
Oh, absolutely.
Early Usher. Oh, that's a good call.
Yeah,
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, we'll have to get the playlist later. So when we're trying to get pumped up for the show, just send it to our email.
That'd be a really cool thing to put together for the kids.
Yeah.
And give it to them. Is the music for the bus trip?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun for them.
It's the best of Cienega volleyball.
Yeah.
Right. I think, Coach, what was your highlight?
I would also say that it's also the Vegas tournament, but that was just more for like them. It was awesome because before that, they were just players on a team, and I feel like during that and after that, they became brothers, and I think that really sealed the bond between them, and I think that ultimately was one of the biggest reasons that they won a state championship.
That's great.
So if you want to go with the next question.
So, do any of the state schools come to Tucsonville to play you guys? So any of the out of states come here?
Or out of Tucson, maybe do any Phoenix schools come down, or?
They do for other teams, but not for us because we just don't get them on our schedule. Oh, for tournaments.
For tournaments, but not for regular season stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
But mainly we drive up there.
They're scared of you.
The only closest thing they had was at the South Point tournament, which was in Tucson,
Right.
and so I think there was one California team and maybe one Vegas team. I'm not sure. But
So now that there's a state championship, maybe they'll come travel.
I mean, if they want to play with the big dogs, sure.
Well, that's what I mean. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So
This is
it
true.
would make sense for them to do that. So, what are you gonna? Oh, well, I guess the next question that we asked the other two, but we have two more seniors. So, what are your plans for next year?
So me and Jacob are both serving 2-year missions for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Okay.
And I'll be serving in North Carolina in Charlotte, and I leave on August 23rd.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And like he said, I'm doing the same thing, but I haven't got my call yet, so I'm just waiting.
You don't know yet?
Yeah, waiting on a call.
And are you leaving the same time in August, but you still don't know yet?
I don't know. It all
Okay.
depends.
Then when I come back, I'll be playing college volleyball somewhere. I haven't decided exactly where yet.
Gotcha. Now, do they offer you now, knowing that you're going on your mission?
So
Okay.
I would commit and then get admitted to the school so I can keep my academic scholarship.
Okay.
And then because if I wait 2 years, my academics will expire.
Oh, that makes sense.
So
Okay.
I need to get committed and admitted before I leave. Is the best case scenario.
So this is going to lead a little off topic, but I have to ask. So, the giant new temple.
Oh, it's beautiful. I was there yesterday. Actually, we both were.
So, Explain something to me, because for those of us who don't know, I mean, I guess it's open this month to tour for the public.
Yes, the open house.
But I've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sorry if I'm getting off topic, everyone, but if I don't ask now, I'm going to forget for the rest of my life, and I'm not going to know. I've heard that they don't hold services there. It's just mainly for a certain group of people at a certain time. Maybe you can explain that. Maybe I'm not really phrasing it right, but I guess like some of the bigger temples aren't used for average services, but more for either events. It's not like it's like a church. It's a temple. I mean, explain the usage of such a beautiful building.
So yeah, it's not really like a church where there's a service held like every week.
Right.
It's more so where you can go and perform as sacred ordinance or a covenant. But yeah, it's mainly open to members, and so yeah, it's kind of restricted in that.
And like before you get married, you go there.
Yeah, marriage ceremonies are held there. So it's more for special things in the church as opposed to just weekly meetings.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense, because I've seen a lot of my friends who attend church on a regular basis, and they're like, go see it while you have a chance. And I was like,
Yeah, well, it's sacred. So once the public is done, they actually go in and put in like new carpet,
It's really, yeah. Once it's dedicated, then the open house is over and it's kind of closed to the public.
Yeah. I actually got to go into a temple in Tri-Cities, Washington, Richland, Pasco, Kennewick. Got ahead of myself there, and it was very interesting. So, not being of the Mormon religion, being able to go in there and see what it was all about, and we had a tour. Very, very
it's
interesting.
Immaculate.
So the public can get in there. I think the rest of this month.
During this month,
do it. It's really, it's very interesting.
I drive past it every day on the way to work, and I'm just in awe of this building.
Wow, sports and religion all at once.
I know. Maybe if we start bringing in politics, we can hit everything or nothing.
1,000 feet away from politics right now. I'll talk religion and sports any day. All right, so tell me what you guys feel. I kind of asked the other group where your aha moment during the season, where you kind of felt like, okay, we're winning, but oh my gosh, this is really a special team. This is when did you feel like you were really over that hump? You could really see state.
I think I could really see state when we in the regular season we beat Rincon, who was kind of our crosstown rivalry, in 4 sets, and that's when I kind of thought like, dang, like we're good, like guys. Like, we looked around and decided we were good and we could compete with anybody. But I think the real point where I knew that we could take anyone in this state is when we beat Chandler up at the Wolf House tournament. And Chandler actually played for the 6A state championship. They were the runners-up in 6A, and we beat them in straight sets at their own tournament. And so that was the moment where I knew we could take anybody. And
that's great.
For me, I thought it was a reality when we first beat Campo Verde in the Final Four, because that was just the most ridiculous game like I've ever played in, and it's just like so wild, and the crowd was energetic.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Was it back and forth, or what was special about? Okay.
Yeah, back and forth, very close game.
Cool.
So we do have about 3 more minutes with this group here. And Coach, why don't we ask? I mean, same question goes to you. At what point during the year did you think we're going to make a run?
I think it's honestly probably a combination of both of those. At first in the Chandler tournament, we beat 6A, and I'm from Phoenix, and so I know Phoenix volleyball because I played there in high school at Desert Vista, and so Phoenix is kind of, I guess, more known for volleyball than Tucson is. Although Tucson volleyball is growing way faster than Phoenix is, but they're a little ahead of the curve up in Phoenix. And so going in there to a Chandler tournament and being able to beat them and being the only team in that tournament to beat them, and they ended up winning actually.
The tournament?
Yeah, the Chandler won their own tournament, and so we were the only team to beat them. And so that was a really big aha moment. But then in the first round of the playoffs, we beat Mesquite, who was the 16 seed, but we had dropped a set. And I think that kind of really woke them up and really made them realize that we're not, unbeatable. We're not invincible.
Right.
And so going in to the semifinal set or even the quarterfinals against Deer Valley. They were a great team. We had seen them before. We had played them before, and we beat them in straight sets. And then we went into Campo Verde, and they were unreal. But we ended up beating them, just barely nudging them out, also in straight sets.
Wow.
So just a combination of both of those things is when I knew that these guys were special.
When did you, I probably don't have to ask you this one because I think you were probably bottle-fed volleyball, but when did the rest of you really get interested in volleyball? And answer that, because maybe, it took a while. So what brought you to volleyball? Where did you begin and what got you there?
So my mom's always coached. She coached at Catalina Foothills when I was little, and so I kind of grew up in the gym. But I was a baseball player, and baseball and volleyball are during the same season, and so you have to pick one or the other. And my 8th grade year, I decided I was going to play baseball in high school, and I'm really close with our assistant coach, Charlie De La Vara. I mean, I'm close with all of them, but and we talked and sat down and talked before high school, and he played baseball his freshman year, and then ended up playing volleyball his sophomore through senior year, and so our bond and our conversation that day really convinced me that volleyball is what I'm interested in, and volleyball could be something that I could be really good at, and could be my love, and so it turned out to be, and so I'm so glad that happened.
So, last question for these guys, and then I don't know if Coach/Mom has the next group ready to go. But when we do the exchange, I'll mention our sponsors again, so stay tuned for that. So my next question would be, with Coach Mont coaching both the boys and the girls, did you watch each other's games?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the school year, all of us seniors, basically except for Skylar, we all managed the girls team. So we all watched their games and went to their tournaments. And
that's cool.
Nice.
So we kind of have a close bond with the girls team too. But yeah, so we watch each other's games.
So what got you into volleyball?
My buddy freshman year mentioned it to me, and I didn't think much of it then, and then I actually came to an open gym and started liking it, and just grew from there.
It was kind of natural, huh?
Right.
Very good. Okay.
Wonderful. Well,
see if we can get the next.
Yeah. So if you want to say hi to everyone first,
yeah,
and then
we'll get Coach to get the next.
And then we'll get while you're saying hi, we can PJ, if you can grab Coach's attention to see if we can get the next group teed up. Coach Mont. Mm-hmm. And then while that's going on, if you want to just go ahead and say hi to whoever you need to.
Hello, everybody.
Anybody special?
Everyone I care about is kind of here, so.
You don't happen to have a girlfriend named McLean, because that would just be that'd be awkward.
That would be
Skylar,
awkward, right? McLean and McLean.
McLean and McLean.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Guys.
While we're switching this out right now, we want to take another opportunity to mention our sponsors. So, obviously, Aqua Solutions, we want to mention them first. If you need anything done with a pool aside from digging the hole, Aqua Solutions, their logo is on our Facebook page and their phone number, so make sure you give them a call.
Information is there.
With the temperatures rising, the pools are probably naturally extraordinarily hot. Really, so, well, not hot, but I would say nice, maybe in the low 80s.
They're perfect.
Right? So make sure to call Aqua Solutions by Christina. Also, I want to mention one other thing. Sunday is the last day to get your 520 Adidas gear. We need 6 more orders to fulfill everything that we're trying to do with our order. I have one that's going to be coming in, so we need 6 after that. So go to the 520 Sports Talk page, scroll down a little bit. I may have Bill or Lori put the link up there for the Adidas site. That way we can go. You can go there. There's some really cool tanks. For the ladies, we have racerback tank tops from 520. I don't even know what racerback means, but it's cool.
I don't wear them, so I don't know.
Neither do I. I don't have the back muscles for it, Plus, they're ladies' tanks. So, anyways, make sure to check it out. Support 520 Sports Talk around town. I also want to mention we're here at Stray Dogs, River and Stone. Great milkshakes. I mean, I see 1, 2, 3, 4 milkshakes just right around the tables right now. They have the churro, they have the donut, the munchies. That's the churro one over there. It's got 2 churros. It's amazing. They also have a 17-inch donut that you can have for parties. They do it instead of a birthday cake. It's amazing. Also, Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating. with the temperatures rising into the 110s next week, make sure that your air conditioning is working. If not, it's going to be a pretty miserable week for you. I also want to mention Micha's, our very first sponsor on 520 Sports Talk down on 4th Avenue. Fine Mexican food and catering at Micha's. Chris Lawler, loansbylawler.com. Go to the Harry Potter charity ball. Charity ball. Put on by Chris Lawler of Nova Home Loans, loansbylawler.com. If you're looking to refi or purchase a home, loansbylawler.com is definitely the place you want to go. TucsonAlist.com. And if you're looking for quality service providers, TucsonAlist.com. If I put on glasses, I look a lot like Harry Potter back in the day. So again, thank you. The Rock, if you're looking for, I don't know if you guys like music, but I heard there's some good early 2000s jams going on the bus on the way up to Vegas. But The Rock, great concert venue. And Z Pizza and Tap Room, our Oro Valley location. Z Pizza and Tap Room, great pizza. And there's some adult beverages that we probably shouldn't talk about in front of the kids. So, but we'll leave it at that. That there's also sodas and water too. It's really it's great. So we have our sign right here just to make sure that the school district is very happy with our placement and every stuff, because the parents like to cut loose a little bit, so we cover everything up so the kids can't see stuff.
You go to the bar.
So yeah, we disguise the bar area right here. So thank you. Mentioned there's a cheap cover at the Rock. Bill wants you to know there's a cheap cover at the Rock, and they do allow underage. So if you like local music and you're not 21, you can go there. The cover's low. They have a cool little outside area, great music. So make sure to go to the Rock this summer. Tell all of our sponsors that you heard it on 520 Sports Talk. They are helping us, and they're going to give you a deal on stuff like with your AC service. David's going to give you a deal with Oasis Air Conditioning. Chris from Aqua Solutions, they're all going to give you a good deal. There's a 520 special every time we're here at Stray Dogs. Tonight, I believe it's the chicken taquitos, $5.20. So I won't mention the drink special because we've got some underagers here. So, but we are joined here, so we have another coach. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Charlie. I've been coaching with Coach Heather Mott here for the past 4 years at Cienega High School since we both kind of took over the program together.
But just the boys team or boys and girls?
So I started out a little bit with the girls program in about 2013 with Coach Mott. I graduated Cienega High School 2010, took 1 year off, and then I kind of volunteered 2012, and then 2013 I jumped over and helped Coach Mott with the girls program, and then really joined in with the boys pretty full force, and it's just been a great growing program ever since then, and it's just been such a blessing in disguise for me.
Did you play?
I did. So I played at Cienega High School, and then I also played at the University of Arizona on the club team. We won nationals 2 years ago and then lost this last year. We ended up taking 5th at the national level. But today is all about Cienega. Yes, I do have that. That's what I'm all about. And so yes, it's been great working with Cienega these past couple years, and then being with Coach Mott and just kind of side by side has been great as well.
Want to introduce yourself and let us know what grade you are?
I'm Carson Mott. I'm a freshman. I'll be a sophomore.
And what position do you play?
I kind of play two positions. I play DS. I pass on the back row, and then I set for one rotation out of the front or out of the back row.
Very cool.
Both of those.
My name's Ethan Igo. I'm an outside hitter, and last year I was a sophomore, but now I'm a junior.
I know summer's always so hard because do you say I'm a sophomore or do you say I'm a junior?
Now, does Cienega go by the traditional school year, or is it part of,
So Cienega is on a year-round system.
Right.
So the boys, these guys just graduated and they have about 6 weeks off, and then they promote to their next grade in the summertime, and then so actually officially these guys are our youngsters really because they were freshmen and sophomores on this state championship team, but now they feel like they've been promoted, and so now we'll have to call them a sophomore and a junior. But they are our youngsters. They're the guys that are going to be our big future, these two.
So going to be a sophomore, going to be a junior?
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Right.
So Carson, we asked your brother, what's it like playing for Mom?
No pressure because she's sitting right next to you.
Yeah.
it's fun to be able to have. It's fun to be able to have so she coaches us at the gym and stuff, and it's fun to be able to talk about the game or practice at home too, around the dinner table. It's fun to have both sides of that. So.
That's neat.
So do you get in trouble like your brother for doing something at practice?
No.
No? All right.
Are you the perfect son? Yeah.
The perfect. Mom's shaking her head yes. You actually have her blessing on that
He
one.
just isn't. He's only 16. He's not 18 yet, so I'm sure that's coming.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All
You
right.
have
So
few
give it a couple
to grow
years.
into
All
that.
right.
His opinion isn't quite as strong yet.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm sure you know what's coming. I mean, you've got an older one. They seem like good kids, though. I mean, all the kids here right now are conducting themselves very well. We seem to attract a really good element. They have a lot of good character, and which is really nice because you get some schools and I don't want to name anyone, but basically we've had some guests on the show, and it gets a little out of hand.
Well, I'll tell you that it's a compliment to our coaching staff that you say that, because that's something that we stress a lot with Cienega Volleyball. We function at a much higher level than most teenage boys teams. We expect a lot more from them.
Yeah.
And partly that's the reason that they've been as successful as they've been. But you're right, and that's a compliment, and we appreciate you acknowledging that because we work hard for that.
Well, I mean, it's like the saying goes, act like you've been there before, I mean, you kind of, if you act a fool, I mean,
A lot of it too is we train them to be athletes and things like that, but athlete gets you so far in life. It's that personality to be coachable, to take criticism, to take that feedback, but even so, just apply it to the real world. Volleyball is only a certain aspect of your day, whereas being a good person lasts your entire lifetime. So we pride ourselves on not just teaching athletes, but teaching good people and raising these boys to be the young gentlemen that they soon will become. And I think that's something that we really focus on at Cienega High School.
Kudos to that, really.
Being underclassmen on the team, and as a freshman and sophomore, is there an adjustment coming out of middle school or junior high into the sports school balance?
I mean, I've considered my mom's being the coach. I've always been around the program, so it wasn't that much of a jump for me.
Okay.
I've always been in practices and around it and stuff. So.
My sister played volleyball too, so I feel like I've also been here for a while too.
Okay.
So it wasn't
Did you start as a freshman, or did you just come on this year as a sophomore?
I started volleyball.
Freshman?
Freshman.
Spit it out, man. So, we have asked the other groups, aside from the state title game, what was your favorite moment of the season?
Probably for me, just the trips that we went on. Being able to stay in a hotel with your teammates and being able to hang out and stuff is the best feeling. So.
Where did you stay in Vegas?
We stayed at Sunset Station. So it was a lot of fun. Bowling alley downstairs.
Oh, there you go.
So
Once you're kind of away from stuff, it's not near the strip or anything like that.
We didn't want to do the strip. We decided to take the boys off, let them kind of do their own thing.
No, that's a good idea.
Kind of like a whole culture shock down there.
Yeah, there's some characters on the strip, a little bit. But, go ahead. Aside from the state title game, favorite moment of the season?
Probably when we were in our Vegas tournament, and I don't remember what team we played. Arborview. When we played Arborview, and it was just a really good game, and we all came together as a team, and it was just good to see our full strength as that we have together as a team.
So I guess at that tournament you went 6-1. Who was the one? What's that?
Bishop Gorman out of Vegas.
Vegas, yeah.
And Bishop Gorman
Vegas.
is known across the country really as an athletic school. I mean, they are somebody to be contended with. When I came home and said, we won all of our games except we lost to Bishop Gorman, people kind of looked at me and went, "Oh, I'm sorry." It was, they're a phenomenal team, and they have they had a good portion of their starters that were D1 athletes. So
wow, okay.
They were definitely good. We played them tired just to give us a little bit of credit.
Okay.
We played them very tired. I think had we played them on a fresh day, I think that would have been a little different.
What was the score?
I don't remember.
You forget.
We
those
lost.
ones. Yeah.
I don't remember.
I'm just trying to put it in perspective. I mean, is it best of 5? Is it best of 3 in a tournament?
It was best of 3.
Okay.
Yeah, tournament style is always best of 3.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And Coach, same question to you. Favorite moment of the season?
I think it's got to be that Arborview game. You go out to Vegas and you don't know what you expect in a completely different area. We can play Tucson teams after Tucson teams, and it's just kind of the same. We know what we have.
Right.
But when you take these young boys out there and challenge them and put them in an environment where they're not familiar with what they have going on, they really play up to a level where I feel as though they don't even expect it themselves. You play as hard as you can against a team. You don't know what their secret weapons are. You don't know how their defense plays. And these boys to be able to adjust at such a high-level game in such a random area for them that they've never been exposed to. Our younger boys did an absolutely phenomenal job. Carson, as a freshman in Vegas, stepping in when we needed him during crucial roles. Ethan being one of our starting 6 on that court on a regular, being our go-to outside at a sophomore year this year for him. Watching these boys play at that level for that game was just full intensity the entire way up. There was no letting off. And coming from these 2 youngsters, I'm excited to see what the future brings for Cienega High School and them.
All right, guys.
We all
so
are. I think you started something really special there. So.
Definitely. What's the most common volleyball injury?
For me, it's I struggle with my lower back, and that's a pretty good struggle for a lot of our team.
Okay. Just because of the motion, the movement, or what?
Jumping up and down.
Okay.
Yeah, that spine's really compressing.
Court burns, if that counts.
Yeah.
It counts. It hurts. It counts. Yeah.
Earrings getting ripped off of your ear by the net or something.
Yeah.
Don't they tell you, like, they don't make you take an earring out before the game? Oh, okay. I was going to say, like.
The earrings came out right after that happened. It happened just the other day. I made him take them right out.
You learn that lesson one time.
Exactly.
And after that, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
So do you guys play any other sport?
I do. I played football last year, and I play basketball. Just came from 2 games actually right now for this, but.
There you go.
I don't.
Yeah.
No,
The
you're,
one sport
you're 100%
kinda guy, huh?
volleyball. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
We're trying to make him stay focused on one sport, so he just keeps his mind on
tunnel
one
vision.
track.
There you go.
He's just got volleyball. The
That's it.
off-season's volleyball, the on-season is volleyball, that second off-season's volleyball. He's got.
So you're just like, I want 3 rings, one for
Exactly.
this year and the next 2 years, and then you're happy. Would you both? Okay, so you're playing 2 different sports. When you end up going to college, if you had to pick one sport to specialize in, what would it be?
I mean, considering it's hard to go somewhere as a basketball player if I'm not really tall, and I'm not really tall. So, I mean, I think my best opportunity is volleyball, so I'll probably try to pursue that.
Do you think scholarships are more available for volleyball than for other sports? What do you think?
No, I don't think that they're more available. I think that I think we live in a society where club sports have changed a lot of the culture for college scholarships. I think basketball is very saturated. I think we have some phenomenal athletes finding the best that they can do as a junior college.
Right.
Volleyball is fairly new as far as a college sport. And when I say that, I don't think it's a new sport. I just think it's becoming more and more popular. PJ, who you met earlier, Preston, makes the comment all the time that, in 20 years, volleyball is going to be a lot like basketball is right now. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for kids, but I think that what we stress is that they bring their academics as well. And we have a number of the kids on this team are phenomenal students, above 4.0 students.
Oh, very
and so
nice.
when you combine that, there's a lot of opportunity because a lot of volleyball scholarships come in halves because the NCAA gives them so many scholarships and they can go further if they can split them up. Well, the best way for them to split them up is for kids to then supply some academic money to it. And so we really stress that. And this team, I mean, this is a smart boys game, and this is a smart team. And one of the reasons that they have been as successful as they are is that, if we we've never done it, but if we calculated the cumulative GPA on this team, I think it would be astounding.
Yeah, that would be interesting to do.
It would do.
Right.
We should do that.
Yeah.
So, Coach, a quick question. We only have about 8 minutes left. Are there any other kids that you want to bring up?
Yeah, I have our 4, kind of our middle of the group guys that are all returning next year. There's 4 of them. They'll all be seniors next year.
Okay.
And they're an interesting group because they all 4 just came with Carson from the basketball game. So they're all 4 playing varsity basketball this year. And so I think they'd be interesting to talk to. I'd like to throw them in for a few minutes.
Yeah, we got like 7 minutes left, so
Okay,
let's
let's
give them
get
as much
'em in.
time as they can.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much for joining us. You got to respect the clock, you know?
I know. Gotta stay on task here.
Right now, I mean, what other information can we pass along? We have three.
Can I just say something really quick?
Yeah.
And that is that I am super impressed with this group of kids.
Yeah.
I am beyond impressed.
Yeah. A couple things I want to mention here. The Harry Potter Charity Ball. Make sure to contact Chris Lawler, 260-4846 or loansbylawler.com. You probably saw a picture of him right now with some glasses. Also, if you are interested in being an intern on our show, if you're interested in sports media and journalism, if you want to cover sports for 520 Sports Talk, please get in touch with us. Contact Lori at 520sportsSM or 520sportsSM at gmail.com or 520sportstalk at gmail.com. Let us know that you're interested in becoming an intern with us. We'll send you out to as many sporting events as you want to go to. You can write some stories. Make sure you're patronizing the sponsors that are being broadcast on our, during the broadcast right now. So, all right.
We have new people.
So apparently we've got some basketball/volleyball players right here. So we're going to start. Grab the microphone. We're going to go left to right. Introduce yourself, your position in volleyball, your position in basketball.
Hi, I'm Javi Summers. In volleyball, I play outside, DS, libero, and in basketball, I play guard, point guard, shooting guard. Doesn't matter.
Just guard.
I'm Isaiah Buster. In volleyball, I play middle blocker, and in basketball, I play power forward and small forward.
I'm Wyatt Prentice, and in volleyball, I'm a right side hitter, and in basketball, I'm the center.
Hi, I'm Brian Hedden. In volleyball, I'm a middle, and in basketball, I'm a senior and a power forward.
Power forward.
So in high school, you can get away with being a center at 6'3".
Yeah.
So let me ask you the tough questions. You're all four on the basketball team, right? You're going to be seniors next year. So you win a state championship in volleyball. You're going to be seniors. You're going to try and win another one next year. When you go to college, basketball or volleyball? And coach is probably not listening right now, so you can say whatever you want. Yeah, all four of you.
Well, in college, I'm thinking probably volleyball.
There you go. It's a good answer. It's an answer that gets you playing time on the volleyball team next year. So.
Yeah, I like that more.
I'm gonna have to say volleyball too.
Volleyball as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I just all around, I think it's a lot of fun. And I don't know. It fits me better.
There you go.
That's kind of a really hard question, but if I had to choose between the two, it'd probably be volleyball.
All right. Well, coach taught you very well.
I think I'm going to have to go with basketball on that one, just because that's my lifelong sport. I've always played it, and volleyball is fun, but I don't know if I could play it in college as well.
So when did you start playing volleyball?
I played my sophomore year, so this is my second year.
Second year. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The same?
I actually started this year.
This is your first year?
Yeah, I did like some open gyms. They were offering some open gyms, and actually McLean and Colton, I think you guys already talked to them. They were like, "Hey, you should come play volleyball." I was like, whatever. Volleyball is kind of like a girl sport or whatever. But the first open gym, my legs were completely tired. I was like, this is a whole different thing.
I know. People don't know how hard volleyball really is.
Yeah, exactly. Like conditioning wise, and it's gotten my vertical a lot higher, and yeah.
So talk to us about becoming senior leadership on the team next season. What are you looking forward to, and how are you going to help coach up some of the younger kids?
Well, I think I can really offer just a lot of experience to the younger kids. I mean, winning a state championship is a pretty big deal. So, right. I mean, you have a little bit of credibility there. So I think that would be like a lot of help. And I think we just need to bring like a lot of teamwork next year, because volleyball is just a team sport.
Well, right now we know it's going to be a rebuilding process because we have players coming up. But really, they just need to know that it's not the end of the world. Like, we can rebuild from the start, from the beginning, and we can do it all over again. And volleyball is fun. You just got to go out there and give it your all, and we'll be fine.
That's great.
speaking on the leadership, Coach Mott, she does great. She lets everyone know that they can lead the team in a different way. So newcomers up, they can be leaders as well.
Sure.
We're just here to basically introduce them to the program.
I also thought the seniors last year really helped us and showed us how to do it. They made a big impact in how we learned, and it was never it was always everybody always picking somebody else up, and everybody was also supportive.
That's great. So, beach volleyball. You guys, any of you? No. It is hard, isn't it? I know. You can't get the height that you can. Ooh, yeah.
And it's hard because you have to bump because basically as I knock stuff over, you can't set in beach volleyball because they basically call every single set. So no beach volleyball then.
No beach volleyball. So I keep meaning to ask everybody this: who's your power guy? So when you're wanting that 1 point, who are you setting it for?
I mean, is all of us is really. You can give it to McLean, Isaiah's giving him a set and McLean just smacked it right down to the 10-foot. You can give it to Skylar, Alex. You can give it to everybody on the bench, all of us. You can give it to our coach.
I have no doubt about that.
I don't know. Skylar doesn't seem like he has a whole lot of power. I mean, he's a little small, Oh, I meant the other Skylar.
His girlfriend.
Yeah. She's good too. Is she on the girls' team? What's it? Oh, okay.
Empire,
Gotcha. All right. Well, we only have 2 more minutes at the most. So if you have questions for the guys right now, please send them in. We got 2 minutes left. So make sure, Laura, did you have any other questions for the team?
Well, I always have mine. How did you get started? Who got you started? I know you said you just started this last year, and that the guys got you into it. Had you ever thought about doing that before?
Not really, but the year previous, they had made a really deep run in the playoffs, and I was like, well, if that means I can get a state ring, I kind of want to.
Are you like the Cienega's Kevin Durant?
No. Different thing. No, but it's
it's okay. He got a ring. He got a ring.
I wanted it to just be part of that entire team, and it just seemed really fun. So I just figured I'd tag along.
That's great. So I know basketball is your lifelong, but what made you?
Well, my friend Colton Todd, we were on the basketball team together, and ever since my freshman year, I always thought about volleyball. Because my mom was always in my ear about playing new sports and everything. And Colton, he was relentless. Colton, Coach Ma, even they were just, you got to come out, just try it. So I was like, I'll give it a shot.
Going on. I like that.
Right?
I like that.
The comment had come in that you're extremely agile and quick. Were your parents good athletes?
I feel like my parents asked that question.
I don't know, maybe.
Well, both of them.
I think maybe mom asked that question.
That sounds like them. So both of them were really good athletes growing up. My mom, she played soccer. She played volleyball as well, when she was young. And my dad was a really good football player. So I started when I was young, I played football as well.
Okay.
So athleticism just runs through the family.
So where did it all start for you guys?
Well, I actually played volleyball my freshman year, but it kind of came up short because a lot of us, we couldn't get really people there for our team, so we just kind of had to stop.
Sure.
So then during basketball season, McLean Mott, he told me I should try it again for this season, and so I did, and it worked out pretty well in my favor.
Good.
I would say so, yeah.
Gonna get the bling bling.
Right?
I started this year too, but the last couple of years since freshman year, I always Alex asked me if I was gonna play, and McLean told me I should play, so I finally came out this year. I wanted to try something new, so it worked out pretty good.
Very cool.
I only have time for one more question right now, and then we're going to go ahead and take off for the week. But because Coach Charlie plays for the U of A, did he influence your choices to continue to play in college?
I don't really think.
Because you're doing basketball.
Right. Yeah.
But answer the question. Sorry.
I think he just helped show us that there was more out there than just high school volleyball. So he really just showed us more opportunities in college. And
It's out there.
U of A is more of a club team, so that just opens up more doors to play for club teams as well.
Yeah, Charlie has been just like a super big mentor to our entire team. He's brought a lot of like energy and like knowledge about the sport of volleyball, and like he's encouraged the continuation of the sport like throughout college. But I don't think he's trying to force it on us. I think he just wants like us to really realize how like big of a team sport it is, and even if you're not 6'10" and can't go to the NBA, like short people can play volleyball too, right, Hobby?
Yes. So last two, and then we're gonna we'll mention this, but then we're gonna have to take off. So.
Oh, the.
Yes, about college volleyball.
Yeah, college volleyball.
Well, I think Charlie's main thing was like building young men and getting us ready, and he used volleyball to do that.
Sure.
So I don't think his main focus was like really like getting us edge towards playing volleyball in college.
Right.
But more as building our characters and
Right.
like our attitudes for sports and just
Definitely.
life in general.
I think Charlie and PJ actually playing. I think that really like it. It wasn't like people that went to Cienega that actually did move on to college.
Right.
If you do have a chance to play, that you should, because it sounds like they have fun doing it also. So
Definitely.
I'd say I would.
Wonderful. All right, well, last note before we get out of here, because we are up against it. Lori, why don't you talk about the 3 Batcats that were drafted in this year's Major League Baseball draft?
Absolutely. Well, the first one was JJ Metajevic. He went to the Houston Astros at number 75 in the draft.
Second round.
Second round.
Then we had two
we had
draftees
two
today.
draftees today. Jared Oliva was drafted by the Pittsburgh Pirates. He was drafted in round 7 at number 208. And then J.C. Cloney, he was drafted in round 9 and at the 270 overall. So we had 3 Batcats go in the draft this year. The team did really well this year. Fell short, but
Heartbreaking.
Very heartbreaking. But having covered them all season, the want and the talent was there.
Yeah.
There was just something missing.
Yeah.
But I'm so proud that those 3 guys got drafted. Continuing on the Wildcat tradition into the pros.
Yeah, definitely. Well, oh yeah, you guys get a few seconds. You want to say hi to anyone watching here or watching at home? You can just talk to them right in this area. Hey, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Hey, what's up, Aaron? How you doing? Shout out to my mom, my dad, and everyone that supports Cienega volleyball. Couldn't have done it without you.
Charlie.
Shout out to multiple moms and dads. Coach mom, that's my mom. My real mother, over there somewhere. And my teammates. Biggest shout out there, my teammates.
There you go.
All right.
Shout out to all the coaches and also my parents. That was everybody that helped us through the season.
And Stray Dogs. Shout out to Stray Dogs.
Oh, there you go. Next week we are back in the Nova Home Loan studio. We will be having athletic director from Pima, Edgar Soto, and the new baseball coach, Coach Alday, will be joining us. Bill will be back. Lori, it's been really great having you.
Thank you. It's been fun.
And it's nice having someone my height, sitting next to me for a change. All these guys are super tall, I prefer Boston Terriers. Yes. But again, thank you so much for Lori and Andy and Bill, who was chiming in via the interwebs. I've been Sean Scott. We'll see you next week on episode number 40 of 520 Sports Talk. We will see you then.